Hello and welcome to another Nimble video tutorial. Well, we are well on our way. Season 3, Integration and Quality. So in this video, what I'm going to talk about today is editors. I have played around with various editors in the past, and as some of you may know, I originally chose to use CodeMirror as my default editor for the Nimble platform. It's very responsive, it's fast, and it integrates really nicely with the IDE itself as a whole. So we got syntax highlighting, and CodeMirror has a whole list of plugins and features you can turn on if you can navigate the website and read the documentation. I was trying to get code formatting or code folding enabled in this library, but when I went to navigate the site, I had to go through their documentation, and it wasn't quickly found within like 10 minutes, so I kind of just gave up and just moved on to something else that was more interesting and more important on my time. Looking around on the net, I was able to find a new code editor called AceEdit, which I was really impressed with, and I think that in the future I may be swapping out CodeMirror within Nimble and moving on to this particular editor. So what I want to do is load this editor component into a dialog and build it for you so you can check it out. Sometimes when you build a product like this, or you have spent the amount of time that I have creating Nimble, you get a lot of dismissive developers. You get dismissive people that will talk down to your idea. But the beauty of this is, it's not that I'm trying to control your development process or limit you to using my framework. I just want you to appreciate the amount of quality and the complexity of what Nimble can design with one developer, and compare that to how much effort it would take you to build the same thing using a manual framework such as React, Angular, or whatever your favorite jQuery, whatever your favorite tool is. It's about stepping up your game, kids. Stepping up your game to make better apps, more higher quality apps, more complex apps. That's what this is about for me. Really building something. It's not just about the coding or the syntax. It's about creating a finished product. And with that, let's take a look at AceEditor. Oops. Again, I have a breakpoint. So we have a AceEditor running here. What I'm going to do is find some sample JavaScript code that I can copy in. So copy in some JavaScript code, and you'll see it does a really good job syntax highlighting, code folding. It's really responsive. You get pop-up warnings, and I also believe that let's see if I delete this and just start typing in some junk. It has JS hint running, so you know that you're missing a semicolon. It gives you warnings. I think the only visual issue that I noticed with the this editor is that the tooltip is not placed properly, so it didn't place it relative to the top left corner of the component that is the parent of the editor. Other than that, it seems to respond and work really well. I'm seriously considering replacing CodeMirror with the AceEditor. That being said, there are other types of editors that I was able to play with online. So we'll get rid of any code-related editors and take a look at my rich text editor. I've used this editor on a few demos actually. I did a demo that was for Nimble regarding self-authorable websites, You have a panel, and on the back of the panel, you have a rich text editor that allows you to edit the content that's on the front of the panel. I believe my tutorials application even uses this editor. It's called CK Editor. It's really nice. It does rich text. It creates rich text content, and it allows you to make and save really nice websites. The idea for that came from work that I did using the AEM Adobe Experience Manager. So just refresh this guy. We should take a look at CK Editor now. It initializes nicely. Got all the bold italic buttons, change the font, insert a YouTube video, size, styles, even a little about CK Editor dialog. So really full featured editor. My go-to choice for, I guess, rich text data inside of Nimble. It's really a sweet component. Last but not least, as I was searching around on the net, I was able to find a new rich text editor. I haven't had a chance to play with it yet, but I did build the web interface for it and brought the component in to the Nimble IDE. This is TinyMCE. At first glance, I believe it had quite a few plugins and different features you could enable within the editor. I think this implementation is a very basic version of the editor because it is the free version. But once again, the beauty of Nimble is all these interfaces. You only build them once, and not just once for a project, once in your life, because you teach Nimble how to manage the project or manage the JavaScript library, and then it's stored there forever so that you can reuse with a simple drag drop. So here's the TinyMCE editor. Oh, I did not allow the editor to size with the dialog. It just uses its own component. But seems like a really nice editor. It has enough features. Basic features are on. Drop down menus. But a fairly decent component. So I figured I'd make an interface for it. And you never know when I might need it or want to use it. And I believe that will conclude my last example for editor components using the nimbleJS framework custom component interfaces. I've got more to come. I'm going to be working on a nice build, and I just can't wait to explain it. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching.